Have you ever found yourself in a disagreement with someone where both of you were absolutely convinced that you were right? It is frustrating, isn't it? You present your facts, your evidence, your airtight logic, and yet they stand their ground, equally sure of their own position. How can that be? How can two seemingly rational people arrive at completely different conclusions about the same situation? This is where we begin our exploration today, delving into the very nature of truth. Let's think about a simple question. Is there such a thing as one single objective truth, or is it more nuanced? This question touches every aspect of our lives, from our personal relationships to the way we understand the world around us. Imagine for a moment two people witnessing a car accident. One person is standing on the sidewalk and the other is looking out from a window on the 10th floor of a building. The person on the sidewalk might swear that they saw a red car run a stop sign, while the person in the building might be equally adamant that it was a blue car that sped through the intersection. They both saw the same event, but they're different. Vantage points, their perspectives, led them to different truths. This is what we mean when we talk about the illusion of perception. Our senses, as amazing as they are, do not always give us a direct line to reality. Our senses act like interpreters, translating raw sensory data into something our brains can understand. And these interpretations are not always accurate. They are shaped by our past experiences, our beliefs, our expectations, even our moods. It is like wearing a pair of glasses, where the lenses are tinted by our individual lives. Everyone's lenses are a little different, which means everyone sees the world through a slightly different filter, influencing their perception. Consider how optical illusions can easily trick our eyes. Those images that seem to shift and change depending on how we look at them. They are fun, aren't they? But they also reveal a powerful truth. Our perception is not always a reliable guide to what is real and can be subjective. Perception can be a fascinating subjective interpretation based on physical phenomena, not necessarily on intrinsic reality. Now let's delve even deeper into this concept. Let's explore the fascinating role of language in shaping our reality. The words we use, the stories we tell, they are not just passive descriptions of reality, are they? They actively shape how we perceive and understand the world. Think about how a skilled lawyer can use language to paint a completely different picture of the same event, depending on whether they are arguing for the prosecution or the defense. They use carefully chosen words, emphasis, and framing to lead the jury towards a particular interpretation of the truth. It is a powerful demonstration of how language can be used to construct, not just reflect, reality. This is where the exploration becomes even more captivating. How do language and our individual perspectives potentially lead to multiple, sometimes conflicting, truths? Let's say, for example, two people are debating the merits of a particular painting. One person might describe it as a vibrant and powerful expression of human emotion, focusing on the bold colors and dynamic brushstrokes. The other person, however, might see the same painting and describe it as a chaotic and confusing mess, pointing to the lack of clear structure and the jarring color combinations. Are they both wrong? Or are they both in a way right, considering their individual perspectives, their individual tastes, their artistic sensibilities, their personal histories with art? All of these factors influence how they interpret and describe the painting. They are using different languages, both literally and figuratively, to articulate their own subjective truths about the artwork. Let's consider the important distinction between believing something and something actually existing. This distinction might seem obvious, but it is crucial for understanding the nature of truth. Simply believing something, no matter how strongly, does not make it true. For example, imagine someone who deeply believes that they can fly. They might close their eyes, flap their arms with all their might, and truly believe with every fiber of their being that they will soar into the sky. But will they? No. Their belief, no matter how sincere, does not alter the fundamental laws of physics. It does not change the reality of gravity. This highlights the crucial difference between subjective belief and objective reality, emphasizing that belief does not alter reality. One is a matter of personal conviction, while the other exists independently of what anyone believes. Does this mean that personal perspectives are useless? Absolutely not. Considering different perspectives is essential for reaching a more complete understanding of the world. Imagine trying to understand a complex sculpture in a museum. If you only look at it from one angle, you will miss out on so much of its detail, its form, its beauty. You need to walk around the sculpture, examine it from all sides, even get down low or climb up high to truly appreciate its form and beauty. Similarly, engaging with different perspectives allows us to see the world in a richer, more nuanced way, fostering a more comprehensive understanding. This engagement challenges our own assumptions, broadens our understanding, and helps us move closer to a more comprehensive truth. Now, let's consider this intriguing idea. Even though objective truths might exist, our understanding of these truths is always filtered through our individual perspectives, making it subjective. This is where the importance of humility becomes clear. It is about recognizing that our own viewpoint is just one among many, and that we might not always have the full picture. It is about being open to the possibility that we might be wrong, or that there might be more to the story than we initially perceived. Let's explore how our beliefs impact our actions and interactions. What we believe to be true has a profound impact on how we act, how we interact with others, and how we navigate the world around us. If someone believes that the world is a fundamentally dangerous place, they might be more likely to be suspicious of others. They might avoid taking risks and live with a constant sense of anxiety. On the other hand, someone who believes that the world is full of opportunity and kindness might be more likely to approach new situations with optimism. They might build strong relationships and live a more fulfilling life. Our beliefs are not just abstract ideas. They are the blueprints for our actions, the architects of our experiences. In our pursuit of truth, it is also essential to be aware of common pitfalls in our thinking, such as logical fallacies. One of these is the tendency to make hasty generalizations. A logical fallacy, often referred to as faulty induction. Just because something has occurred a certain way in the past does not necessarily mean it will always occur that way in the future. For example, if you meet a few unfriendly people from a particular country, it would be inaccurate and unfair to assume that everyone from that country is unfriendly. That is a hasty generalization, a leap in logic that is not supported by sufficient evidence, and it can lead to harmful stereotypes. Another pitfall to avoid is the common mistake of confusing correlation with causation. Just because two things happen simultaneously or appear to be related, it does not necessarily follow that one causes the other. For instance, consider that ice cream sales and crime rates tend to rise during the summer months. Does that mean that eating ice cream causes crime? Certainly not. The common underlying factor is the hot weather, which leads to both increased ice cream consumption and more people being out and about, potentially leading to more opportunities for crime. It is crucial to distinguish between a genuine cause and effect relationship and a mere coincidence, or a correlation driven by a third, unseen factor, in order to avoid flawed reasoning. Remember the words of Ayn Rand. You can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. So how do we navigate this complex landscape of truth and perspective? The core takeaway here is not that there is no such thing as truth, but rather that truth can be multifaceted, like a diamond with many different faces. It can be influenced by context, by perspective, by the very language we use to describe. So respecting different perspectives is not about abandoning our own beliefs. It is about recognizing that other people's experiences, backgrounds, and ways of seeing the world might lead them to different, yet equally valid conclusions. It is about engaging in respectful dialogue, even when we disagree, and being willing to learn from one another. The search for truth is not a solitary quest, it is a collaborative journey. It requires us to actively seek out different viewpoints, to challenge our own assumptions, and to be open to changing our minds when presented with new evidence or compelling arguments. It is about recognizing that our individual understanding of reality is always going to be incomplete, like a single piece of a giant puzzle. The key is to develop critical thinking skills, to learn how to evaluate evidence, identify biases, and construct logical arguments. to be able to distinguish between fact and opinion, between reliable information and misinformation. This empowers you to navigate the complexities of the world with greater clarity and confidence. It allows you to form your own informed opinions, rather than simply accepting what you are told without question. Ultimately, the journey to understand the nature of truth is a lifelong pursuit. It is a process of continuous learning, questioning, and growth. There will be times when we are challenged, when our beliefs are shaken, when we are forced to confront uncomfortable realities. It is through these challenges that we grow, that we deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, as you go forward, remember the importance of humility, of empathy, of critical thinking. Remember that your perspective is valuable, but it is not the only one. Be open to learning from others, to challenging your own assumptions, and to embracing the beautiful, complex, and often messy nature of truth. And perhaps most importantly, remember that the search for truth is not just about finding the right answers, it is about asking the right questions. The pursuit of truth is an ongoing conversation, a dynamic interplay of ideas, a journey of discovery that shapes not only what we know but who we are. That is a journey worth taking,